Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Brendan, and joining me today is Shane and Nanette. And today we'll be tackling a new piece of technology that is moving quickly up the technology ladder called the Oculus Rift. Shane, what do you know about the Oculus Rift currently?
Okay, well, Brandon, the Oculus Rift is a virtual reality head-mounted display. And so, to explain that a little better, give you a little bit more detail, it's a product that you would wear on your head, and it's composed of two HD screens that fill your entire field of vision and project an image back that immerses the participant in a fabricated or virtual world.
That's actually an excellent description, Shane. This powerful piece of technology has users immersed in virtual reality like never before. And it combines two lenses, which displays through a high definition screen mounted to a pair of very futuristic goggles. And it's completely like something out of the movies. And after not only a year, this piece of technology is quickly becoming paired with top of the line audio and mobile components.
Yeah, that's right, Nanette, and it definitely is something right out of the movies. Extremely futuristic. Great product. The technology recently has been introduced, and consumers and the industry itself has basically sought the funding through Kickstarter, which is a campaign where you're able to solicit money with the intention to further produce a product or an idea. People on Kickstarter, they'll add incentives. So for instance, with the Oculus Rift Kickstarter, people who pledged a certain amount of money, the minimum for this actual reward was $300. They actually got an Oculus Rift headset, which was the launch price for the development team. So Kickstarter is just the unbelievable thing that's happened on the internet.
Yeah, we see it through a lot of different platforms too. It's a really great idea. And as far as the Oculus Rift is concerned, did you know that it received such a phenomenal response that, incidentally, the Oculus Rift surpassed its goal of $250,000 startup by 400% within the first 36 hours of its introduction at the Electronic Entertainment Expo in 2012, which we affectionately refer to as E3.
Well, that was probably due to the fact that the product was available for the consumers to test, which is most likely it far exceeded their expectations, and it was a genius way to obtain the money that they needed. And the Kickstarter campaign, I kind of see that it could potentially be the future of new technology funding and bringing great ideas to fruition, in a timely manner.
I 100% agree with you, Nanette, and what makes Kickstarter so great is that it has proven itself to be successful in the means for crowdfunding. It's basically brought life to a very shady and uncredible area of the internet. There's companies and entrepreneurs around the world that are looking to endorse or start an idea, and it's always been kind of hit or miss. You don't know, should I trust this person? Is this someone that's just going to take my money and run? And Kickstarter's basically provided a professional way to launch ideas and to have support. There's always going to be looking for someone to push a product or launch a new idea or a website, and that's never going to change. But the interesting thing about Kickstarter is that the reward for investment is available, and if you support technological advancements, it just makes it really intriguing and fun. You can follow the growth of this product, this company, from day one right up through to the launch into the stores. You can say, I was a part of that. I'm part of that technology. You can grow with the developers, watch how the money's been spent. You can see exactly where they're allocating funds, where they're investing, where they're producing offshores, onshores. And companies themselves offer the product when it's ready for market. And in a lot of cases, like we were saying, there is incentive programs where you can actually get your hands on that product, being a Kickstarter.
Yeah, I mean, as far as this piece of technology goes, what we're looking at is it's just a display screen. And so it still requires some sort of a console or something with which to project those images or bring those images through the displays. Sorry, excuse me. So the displays themselves are 7-inch LCDs, both lens positioned over top of the eyes to provide 90 degrees horizontal and 110 degrees, in the vertical 3D perspective. The desire for the Oculus Rift to take over the mobile industry to try to tap into some of that cell phone and tablet market really does make me curious. So I'm interested to see where this is going to go. So all that said, what does this mean, and how does the Oculus Rift fit as a learning tool? How does it fit within that HCHI model?
Well, Shane, based on the HCHI model, the Oculus Rift definitely fits in within the technical and informational domains. The technical competency required for using the Oculus Rift is very minimal, since all that actually is required to utilize it is to connect it and wear it. But there definitely is some getting used to when wearing it.
I can imagine that there'd be a little bit of a period there of getting used to this. So yeah, it definitely fits within the informational domain. We are receiving images, so we're receiving information. That's how it fits within that space, and we have to sort through that information that we're being provided. And transmit it onto those HD screens, the better than real life. So it can provide these images that may be experienced or interacted with, certainly viewed, seen, with the assistance of other peripherals, though.
So does the Rift make its way into the communication domain then?
I'm not really sure it does, Nanette, and the reason for that is that it doesn't really allow for any kind of collaboration or interaction in itself. By nature, it does consume the field of view to block out everything except what the programmer has intended for the learner to see, but other users may be inserted in the landscape and can be perceived, but the interaction you would have is not really different than it is on the monitor. So basically, as far as the exploration and the outside the box goes, the Oculus Rift for itself basically doesn't allow for any form of external communication.
No. And does it finally, I guess, I mean, the last part of this HCHI model, excuse me, does it really fit within the epistemological domain?
I don't think it does. It doesn't fall into the epistemological field either because it cannot be programmed to do any lower order thinking for us. It can't be given orders to complete, or it can't be modified. It simply receives images and transmits them to the user. It doesn't assist with forming any new understanding by itself.
No, and the Oculus Rift itself doesn't really allow you to manipulate the world that you're immersed in, just outside of observing it. You can't change things within that world. You can't do stuff. It's really, the Oculus Rift itself is really just that viewing device. So other technologies, hardware, software, are required to truly utilize this product. By itself, it's just 2 HD screens.
Yeah, that's right, Shane. And there is a lot of companies on board with trying to enhance the Oculus Rift experience. There's other means for simulation that have kind of come to light over this past year or two as basically the perfect grounds for a virtual reality headset have been created, and developers are jumping on it. We're going to look very quickly at a quote that Dr. Rowland had said to us in regards to learners' ability to construct learning, and that is, if learning is defined as an active construction of new connections between existing neurons through the process of assimilation and accommodation, that will be its effect on learning. Although that being said, some people will not be able to use this technology to any of its effectiveness because they are just not able to make the transference of what they are seeing, experiencing, to any kind of the knowledge building. As the saying goes, you can lead a student to knowledge, but you can't lead them to learn.
Yeah. So the effectiveness of the Oculus Rift is going to be in its ability to immerse the user in the world that the programmer defines. And the more believable that experience, the closer that the student will be able to, or the closer the transference of those skills that the student will be able to make between the experience the Oculus Rift is giving and its real-world application. So this will be useful in experiential learning, and even if the emotional connection between those learning experiences, and I'm sure that it's only going to improve as a product as time goes by, so it's going to be the one to watch. So thank you, everyone, for being a part of this discussion today, and we'll leave it at that.